Hey guys, I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes. When we get enough viewers, then we'll get started. And we're back. Hey everybody. Thanks for sticking around. We're gonna get right into it this time. Let's try wrap this up before supper time. I would like that. All right. Chapter 3, Filmmaking Advice. So this is a newcomer crash course. Where this one's gonna be quite brisk and quick. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. So sorry, see, I forgot you. I'm terrible. All right. Yeah, Film Commission. You guys are great. Creative Arts College, Huawei, Media Film Services, Durban Film Office, and the Film and Publications Board. We're here because of you. Thank you. From the bottom. Oh, also, I've got you on my shirt. Cool. So, filmmaking advice. So this one is just me, person to person, just saying, hey, um, be wise, be thoughtful when making a film. Because it takes responsibility. Um, okay, so 48-hour film project may be a filmmaking competition, and it may be open to professionals and newcomers, but there's still some things that you need to all remember. Okay, while we want to have fun, if you want to succeed, you're going to have to be smart. Okay, this isn't just about getting it isn't just about getting your film done on time. It's also about making it as good as it can be. Okay, you've got to make sure that everyone on the team is happy. You got to make sure that they're safe, well taken care of, well fed, everything throughout the entire event. Okay, that's your responsibility as a team leader, and as a team member, you got to look out for each other. Okay, that's how it is on a film set. You're like a little army going to make a film. if one person isn't 100%, if somebody's not fit, if somebody's tired, if somebody hasn't gone to the bathroom, you need to just like look out for them. Please take care of your people. Okay. Safety, all right. Safety is so important in anything that you do, but especially on a film set. You get so caught up in the script and the lights and the cameras that you don't realize sometimes that you've got to be careful. Okay. Make sure that your team's always just take care of them always. Okay. If possible, try to have a first aid kit on set. Okay. Highly advised. You would be surprised the amount of little cuts and bruises and trips and falls and bumping of people's heads that happens on sets, okay, on any film set, because everybody's in a rush. Everybody's trying to do their thing. Maybe you've got a fight scene that you're doing. Maybe you're just, you're walking too quickly through a location. Yeah, you see this? You see this scrape here? That's from a film set. Do you know what I was doing? Walking to the printer. It wasn't even like I wasn't doing any Jackie Chan stuff. I was walking to the printer, and then my friend Session was like, "Kish, can you print this thing out?" And I ran a little bit, and then I ran and I scraped my hand on a door frame. That's what that was. Foam sets are dangerous, guys, so you got to be safe. All right. Be aware of your surroundings on all locations so as not to injure yourself or others while filming. Okay. Ensure that all the people participating are comfortable with anything that happens on set. Okay. Be it a stunt, a shot, a line of dialogue, anything. If it's an intimate scene, whatever, the costume that they're wearing, the makeup, make sure that people are comfortable with what they're doing. You've got to always communicate. You've got to be open about what's happening, okay? Because that's part of like keeping everybody happy. Also, just be aware of important health information like allergies, health conditions, pre-existing injuries or conditions. Please, like all of this just helps you be prepared, because all kinds of things just pop out of nowhere to shake up a film set. You're busy trying to make your movie, and then it's like, oh no, where's my asthma pump? Okay, just be responsible for those things. Make sure that there is always somebody looking out for the crew. Doesn't necessarily have to be a security guard, but there should be somebody appointed whose responsibility it is to make sure that everyone else is safe, and that gear and people and equipment and vehicles are safe from damage or theft. Film sets are often a very easy target for like crime, because it's a bunch of people, and again, you're just focused on making the movie. You pull up to a location, they see the cameras, they see you setting up the lights, and they're like sitting ducks. So you've got to be smart, you've got to be careful. Somebody always has to be looking out for you. Please, we don't want to hear, we don't want to be sitting there Sunday morning and we get a call that your camera was stolen while you were filming somewhere. That would be terrible. So yeah, take care of yourselves. Okay, scheduling and logistics. Okay, this is an area that I'm pretty familiar with. This is kind of my job when I work on actual film sets. On any film set, time is the enemy. On 48-hour film project, time is even more the enemy. Okay, everything takes time. Every single thing. Okay, planning takes time. Traveling takes time. Scheduling takes time. Shooting the shots take time. Editing takes time. Exporting the footage takes time. Every single thing, every second counts. Okay? Make sure you have a plan. Okay? It doesn't have to be a rigid plan. Okay? This isn't the A team, but you need to know what you're doing, where you're going, and when to move on. Okay? I've got 2 hours to film this scene, then I gotta be going. You can't take any more time. You know what you've got to do, because if you suddenly like lose track of time, next thing you know, you've got half a film and it's Sunday night, and you don't want that. So you've got to be smart. You've got to think about this. Also, you're going to need to know when to hurry up. You're going to need to know when to slow down, because sometimes people are going to need to catch their breath. This is a marathon, okay? So you need to be sensitive to that. Not everybody can work at the same pace. Not everybody is as strong as you are. Some people need a minute. Some people get hungry. You've got to take care of people. You've got to be able to accommodate everyone in your team. Okay, make sure everyone in your team knows their functions clearly. Pretty please, because if everyone's like, oh, I'm the director. No, I'm the director. I thought it's why I brought my own camera. Like make sure that you know if time is the enemy on 48 hour, don't suddenly make it a civil war where you're all fighting with each other. That's exactly what the time wants. The time wants you to waste the time. Don't let the time win. Don't let it win. Okay, communication is key. Make sure that at every location you are aware of bathrooms, electricity, parking, and all of these things. If you're moving with 4 vehicles to a location, make sure you know where the cars are going to park. Make sure that those vehicles can get to that location. If you're filming in a forest, make sure that your cars are going to be able to get there. You don't want to get stuck, and that, or you want to be able to know that there's a place that you can charge your phones, or that has a cell signal so that you can communicate with your team. You want to have a place where you can charge your batteries for your camera. You want to know that there's a place that's a bathroom, because you're definitely going to need a bathroom. Please just don't forget these things. These are important things that you don't consider, because you think, oh, I'm going to make a film, it's going to be great, we're going to have the dude running and he's going to have a gun. But then you don't think about, where are people going to change? What are they going to eat? Where are we going to park? Where are we going to charge the batteries for the camera? Where's the editor going to sit? All of these things you need to take into consideration. Okay, again, take care of your crew. It's a challenge of both creativity and endurance. Sleep is going to be scarce, we know that, but please make sure all team members are being considered, okay? Well-being of everyone on the team is important, okay? You need to have a break. You need to catch your breath. Make sure that everyone's fed and has access to bathrooms, okay? Good food goes a long way. You would be so shocked at how much better people run once they've gotten a full stomach. Like, you may think, oh no, the film is a priority. Just take 5 minutes. 5 minutes, have a sandwich, have a packet of chips, a glass of water or a cup of tea. People suddenly, they wake up again. Please ensure that everyone is comfortable and happy, and make sure that everyone feels included and well treated, okay? A thing that happens very often on film sets is that people get left by the wayside because you're so occupied with the vision of what a film is that you forget about, your friends. These are your people, and you're pushing them around because you need the film to get done, and you don't realize that you're forgetting the details. And don't forget those details, because those details are your people, and they're your friends, and they're all on your side, and they all want this film to succeed. So you need to consider that. Okay, teamwork. Okay, everyone on the team is important. People will disagree sometimes, but remember, you're on the same team. The leader ensures that there is focus to the team. Okay, be open to people's suggestions, but you got to have a leader, and you've got to follow that leader. If there are too many people suddenly calling the shots, it's a disaster. Okay, trust me, we've been there. Okay, understand that everyone is human. We all have our limits, and you need to be aware of everyone's physical and emotional state. Okay, some people are just gonna not be able to keep up after a while. You're gonna need to take that into account. When we were doing our 48-hour a while ago, like our lead actor just, he was so spent by the end. Like he needed like half an hour just to like close his eyes and take a nap. And like that time went, but he needed it. Otherwise, we weren't gonna finish filming. That's just how it is. And you've got to respect everyone, please. You can't just bully people around. I know it's a movie and you got to get things done, but you're here to have fun, and you're here to compete and make something beautiful. And you don't want to have that stained by going, oh, look at this scene. This was when I yelled at my friend because they weren't in the right place at the right time. Just respect everyone, please. Okay? You got to keep it real, okay? I don't know if you can tell there, but that's a picture of Icarus flying too close to the sun, okay? Manage your expectations. Manage your expectations, please. Okay? Some films at 48 hour have been stunning. Stunning, okay? Like, seriously. But please remember that your film's not always going to look like a perfect Hollywood level production, okay? You're making it under extreme time constraints with limited amounts of prep, okay? Don't try to go too big or too complex, especially if you're not fully prepared or experienced enough. A bad but completed film is way better than a perfect film that isn't finished, okay? Half an amazing film is not a film, but a completed bad film is a film. Do the best that you can, okay? And always learn from your mistakes, but always remember what you're capable of. Please remember things will always go wrong, okay? I'm gonna stress it again. Things will always go wrong, okay? It's part of the experience, all right? So plan for trouble, anticipate it. It's still gonna catch you off guard, but if you're expecting it, at least it won't be as bad. Something will always go wrong, okay? Script writing, okay? Script writing is important. It's an important part of the 48-hour film project, but at the same time, don't get caught up in trying to make it perfect. Don't. Who cares about the spelling and the formatting and stuff, okay? We don't need to see your script, okay? I know some people sent them to us. We don't need them. We don't read them. It doesn't matter what your script is. As long as your crew knows what's happening and the director and everybody making the film knows what's happening, that's fine. If you don't have a script, you just wrote it as WhatsApp messages, that's fine. As long as the film gets made, okay? Also, again, remember, write something achievable. Make sure you consider all the resources at your disposal, okay? At your disposal, okay? Make sure the film is surrounded, is made up of aspects that you are prepared for, from your locations to your cost to your wardrobe. If you need a person who can do a backflip and whatever, but you don't know anybody who can do that, don't write it into your script. If you can't get it, don't write it, okay? If you need a castle and you don't have a castle, then that's your own fault. You've got to be realistic and you've got to use what's at your disposal. You've got to use the resources that you have. Okay. Remember that your team can also help you during the shoot. If you're a team leader, if you're the director, you're the writer, or whatever, your script doesn't need to be a masterpiece. Okay. You're not Quentin Tarantino. You're not Aaron Sorkin. Okay. You're not Greta Gerwig. You've got to do the best that you can, but it's going to be a collaborative effort and you got to let people in, okay? At the end of the day, time is the enemy, so do your best, but you need to know when it's time to move on. You need to know this is the best the scene's going to be. I've got to stop. This is the best the ending is. I've got to move on. I am having trouble. Hey, do you have an idea of how I'm going to finish the scene? Just be aware of those things. Okay, cinematography and shot listing, okay? Planning your scene is an important part of time management, okay? You don't have to get a dozen fancy shots like big budget movies, okay? They have days and days and days to film one scene of people like drinking coffee, okay? That's what they can do in Hollywood, all right? But you've got to keep it simple. You've got to do the math, okay? Every shot takes time. You got your close up like this, and you got your mid shot like that, and you got your wide shot. That's okay, I can't get a wide shot because I'm in a room. But all of that takes time. If every scene takes 5 minutes to run through from top to bottom, you're going to do 3 takes of that. That's 15 minutes. Then you got to do it again from a different angle. That's another 15 minutes. To get 4 angles of that scene, that is an hour gone. Math, okay? I'm not good at math, but you've got to be aware of these things. Standard coverage, so that's all the different shots in a scene. It may be standard, okay? Some people might think it's boring, but it gets the job done, okay? If you're having trouble, mid shot, wide shot, scene's done. You've got it. Okay. Be smart about the shots you have and plan for each scene. Okay. For creativity and edits. Okay. I know that you're in a rush, but sometimes you don't want to be in a position where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough shots to edit the scene together because we filmed it all in one take and now I've got to cut things out and I don't have anything to cut out. I don't have anything to cut away to. Just be smart about this, okay? Try to make sure that you have enough shots that you can make something work, but not too many that you waste time on set, or even worse, waste the editor's time because you've got so many shots that the editor's like, I've got 15 shots now. I can't choose what to use, Everything adds to everything else. So the longer you take on set, the more takes you take, the more shots you take, it adds up in post, and then you're going to have to rewatch all of that. You're going to have to think about it. You're going to have to edit it. So be smart. Editing and data, okay? If you're new to editing, please make sure that you have at least a little bit of practice with editing before the 48-hour weekend so that you're familiar with editing, okay? If you're shooting at a high resolution like 4K or, RAW or log or something like that, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what it is, okay? If you have no idea, then don't worry about it, okay? But if you're shooting with a larger format, please be aware that you're going to have somebody to manage that data, okay? Because, don't fill up your whole memory card and then it's going to take you half an hour to dump that memory card, and that's time that you could be shooting, So be smart about that. If you can only shoot it in HD, shoot it in HD. At the end of the day, you're exporting it in HD for us. So you don't have to have the biggest, fanciest whatever, okay? You just got to get it done. Also, remember that when you're exporting it, if you're going to export it at some high bit rate, high resolution, whatever, that's going to take longer. Everything's going to take longer. Okay. Editing and exporting is the last step of the production process. So everyone will be burning out at that point. So be nice to your editors, be nice to your crew, be patient, just support each other. You cannot turn on each other. Imagine you're so close to the finish line and then everyone starts attacking everyone. You don't want to do that. Don't be like Civil War. Don't be like Captain America and Iron Man. You got to work together, like in Captain America and Iron Man in Avengers Endgame, rather when they reconcile. Um, find a method of editing that you're comfortable with to balance efficiency and art. Okay, you shouldn't rush your edit, but you can't drag your feet with it either. Okay, and like I said before, multiple cuts and exports are a good way to ensure a version of your film is done on time. So oh, okay, we got a first cut. The sound's not perfect. We haven't color graded yet. Upload it. Upload it anyway. We'll have it. At least something will be in on time. And then when you want to touch it up further, touch it up again. Upload the next one, because your film, I guarantee you, you will not be satisfied with your film on the first cut. I guarantee you, once you've even submitted it at 7:30, you're still not going to be satisfied with it. You're going to still keep touching things up. Daniel Bate, I don't know if you're watching, but I know you were asking me if you could upload another color grade when we said no. I think the color was good anyway on your film last year, but you wanted another one and we said no, unfortunately, after the time limit. Sorry, but thing is, you've got to be aware that you're gonna keep updating and keep updating. So, if you want to do that right down to the wire, that's fine with you, but just make sure that a version of your film is online before. Okay, sound and music. Okay, remember, no copyrighted music is allowed unless it is signed, unless you have signed permission from the person who holds the rights to the composition. Okay, we highly recommend public domain and royalty-free music. Okay, but you've got to obviously list where the music is from. So if you use something from the YouTube music library, you get your music release form and you say this song called "Dancing in the Flowers" by Beethoven, and you got to say I use it from music library. That's it, and it's public domain. You've got to make sure that that's what that is. Please ensure that your audio levels are balanced. Again, don't give Mo like a headache now. He's got to balance he's not there to mix your music. He's there to make sure that the cinema experience is the best, cleanest version of itself that it can be. So if your sound is all over the place, that's going to be a problem for Mo, and he's going to have to adjust it. And if he's going to adjust it and it's not the way that you want it, then that's unfortunately on you, because you need to be responsible and understand that not everybody's going to do a 5.1 surround sound mix. Okay, some people are just going to mix in stereo. Some people are going to mix in mono. That's how it is. So you've got to understand that your film is not the only film there, and if it does not, if it requires all of this correction after the fact, we're going to correct it to the best of our ability, but it's not going to be some kind of meticulous Oscar-winning job. It's going to be to get the job done so that it doesn't blow the speakers at Gateway and then we have to, pay for them or something. Post-production and time management, okay? Don't be fooled into thinking that editing and post-production is easy. It's not, okay? Make sure that you give enough time to the edit. It's not just going to be like, oh yeah, we filmed it. It's not. It's going to take time, okay? And when I say it takes time, that means editing the scenes, the sound and the music is another thing, visual effects if necessary, color correction and color grading also. All of that is going to take time, okay? And then once your film is ready to export, remember that it takes even more time to export, okay? Allocate time for this, okay? And save your work consistently. Please, 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 please save your work, okay? So many people, we always get it. I know we tell people, I make the mistake too. You're working on something and then load shedding or your computer crashes and then you lose all your work. Just Control S, Control S, Control S. Just save all your work, okay? Because I don't want to be, I don't want to hear at like 7:15 on Sunday night, I'm getting a call from you and you're crying on the phone because you lost all of your editing because you didn't save. I don't want to hear those stories, because if you cry, I'm gonna cry too. Don't make me cry, please. I don't want to do that. Anyway, so yeah, please save your work constantly. All right. Okay, tech specs. Oh my gosh, don't make me go through this again. You know the tech specs by now. Okay, it's a H.264. Don't go over 2 gigs. Don't go over 2 gigs, please. Okay, maximum 7 minutes long plus 1 minute of credit. It'll be an 8 minute clip. That's it. Okay, 1080p. Doesn't have to be bigger than that. HD, full HD. You don't need a 4K. You don't need an IMAX. Nothing. That's it. Okay, data and final exports. Okay, your final export again must be a maximum of 2 gigs. Okay, all right. If you have a hard time keeping that file size down, try to adjust the export presets. This is for people who are new to exporting and editing and stuff. Because if you are professional, then you will know this already. An 8 minute video at 1080 in HD should not be larger than 2 gigs. If it is, then you're gonna need to adjust the bitrate of the compression or something because it's too big. It should not be that big. Okay, I know you want your film to be seen on the best quality possible, but we can't manage unreasonably huge file sizes. Okay, we don't have the storage for it. We don't have the time to download that. Okay, and it's not going to work. All right, Mo's got to put that as a DCP later on. How's he going to crunch that data? Okay, the technical specs say 2 GB file maximum, and it's going to be full HD. You don't have to do more than that. If you want to save a file version like that for your own distribution later on, fine, but don't give us that version, please, because we can't do anything with it. Okay, permits and paperwork. Here we are again with the permits and paperwork. Okay, again, it's all pretty simple. Don't worry about it. It's like 9 documents. I'm going to walk you through it, okay? Take a look. Team leader agreement. Here it is, okay? This is a form to indicate an agreement to the 48 hours rules and requirements. So as you can see, it's a 3-page form. Those blue sections there, that's all the stuff that you've got to actually fill in. Basically just your name, your team name, and the date. And then on the last page, it's just like your signature, the date, your address, and then you say like, I hereby acknowledge that I'm going to follow the rules of the 48-hour form project. This is the only one that you're going to submit before kickoff, okay? If you do not submit your team leader agreement, we don't officially have you as participating. You will be marked absent if you do not have a team leader agreement, okay? So make sure you get this to us, okay? You can get it to us anytime before then. If you're done now, send it to us. Send it now. Send it right now. I don't know. Right now. Did you send it? No. Why didn't you send it yet? I asked you. Anyway, it's not that hard. It's super easy. And you have to have submitted it before kickoff. Otherwise, when we pull your name out of the hat with the genres, if you don't have a team leader agreement, you're not officially part of the competition yet. Certification statement. Okay, your team leader's got to sign this to certify that all the creative work took place during the official competition time. So as you can see, just the blue parts where you got to fill it in. It's a PDF. It's so easy to edit. You can do it on your phone. You don't have to print it out. You don't have to scan it. Nothing. Everything. You just click on it and you fill it in on your phone. Fill it on your laptop. Whatever. It's made so easy. The 48-hour people have made it so easy for you. I promise. It's so easy. Next one, location release form. It's a 1-page document. As you can see, all the blue spaces are just where you say, this is the team, I'm the team leader, on this date, whatever, we filmed at this location, here's the address of the location, here's the person who's in charge of the location, and they signed off and they said, I hereby acknowledge that this team can film at this location. It's not difficult. Okay, next is a waiver and release form, okay? This is it's a combination of a talent release form and a liability waiver. It's basically saying it's like an indemnity form, okay? So all cast and crew must sign this. Each team member must sign their own individual one. So if you got 9 team members, I want 9 of these. If you got 20 team members, I want 20 of these, okay? And you can upload every single one to Cinema 48, okay? This protects you and your team leader for the project and for the competition, okay? 1 per cast and crew, and you hand it in at drop-off, okay? It's a 1-page document, so easy. Okay, music and materials release forms, okay? So that is for your music, your sound design, and anything else that you use, VFX, clips, chroma key stuff, any of those effects, okay? You can see it's a 2-page document. There's a music one and there's a materials one. They are basically the same, but one says music and one says materials. It literally looks exactly the same, which is why even though this one uh, in this PowerPoint here, it says music. It's the materials one looks the same, but it just says materials. You just gotta fill it in. You gotta specify what you use. I use this song by this person, and I have permission to use it because it's public domain, or they gave me permission, and then they must sign it and say that they gave you permission. Same with VFX or any post production effects. Sign it off. Say I downloaded this off of freelightning.org, where I got a PNG of lightning or whatever. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Next, team roster. Okay, so this is just a list of all the team members in your team. Self-explanatory. You make sure that you put your name, your team. It's the position on the form, the name of the team member, and their email address. Easy peasy. And again, look at that. It's easy. You just get everybody to fill it in digitally. No printing, no scanning, nothing. Okay. Then you got your production checklist. This is just to make sure that you've handed in everything. So it's literally just a checklist. Okay, one per team. It just makes sure that you've done all the things that we've asked for. Okay. Then you've got, now here's a big one, but it's a very important one. It's the Film and Publications Board age restriction form. Okay, so you've got to submit this to get your age restriction classified, because the only way that your film is going to be screened is if it has an age restriction. Okay, so the Film and Publications Board have made a cool deal with us where we give our own films age restrictions. Okay, so you mark off on a checklist all the things that are in your film, and you give a recommendation on your age restriction. Easy as that. Okay, I will walk you through it. I've got a tutorial ready, and I can show you that. I see that there's two questions here. One is from Naledi. We have to email the team leader agreement form or send it via WhatsApp. I would recommend that you email it. I think it's just easier than WhatsApping it. If worst comes to worst on the day, you need to WhatsApp it, then WhatsApp it. But I think it's just so much easier to have it on email. Then you can CC all of us. It'll just be easier. Okay. Travel, you asked what are the rules regarding drone usage. If you have a permit to use a drone and you can afford a drone and you can organize the drone, then go for it. Last year, the winner of Best Cinematography, Kyle, he had a really, really dope film. It was called Fun World, and he had some really cool drone shots in it. And yeah, he got a guy, licensed drone photographer, paid for it, shot with a drone. All good, all legal and above board. So there's no problems with that. Go for it. As long as you have permission to use the drone, go for it. Okay, so here's the FPB self-classification form. So this is for your age restriction, okay? So it's an Excel sheet where you highlight the appropriate boxes, okay? And you answer various questions, okay? So you do one per team, all right? And you hand it in a drop-off, okay? This is the only form that we're going to provide to you because it's a custom form that is specific to South Africa, so it's not going to be one of the default ones that you get from the 48-hour website, but don't worry, you'll get it. We'll make sure that it's to you on time. And I'm going to show you a tutorial of it now. I actually recorded it last year, so you're going to see it says 2020 all over it. But it's about a 7-minute video that explains how to do the FPB self-classification. So sit back, relax, and enjoy my awful droning voice for even more time. Okay, I'm going to mute myself, and bye-bye.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This is a quick tutorial on how to do the FPB festival submission document for the 48-hour film project. So basically this is to make sure that your film has an age restriction, because if your film does not have an age restriction and an FPB classification, it cannot screen in the cinema on the 12th of December. So please do this. You gotta classify what's in your film. You gotta let the FPB know if you have any instances of violence, sexual violence, nudity, criminal techniques, substance abuse, horror, language, prejudice, blasphemy, or photo or pattern sensitivity, motion sickness, and reactions to low frequency sounds, PPS. Okay, that is if anything in your film, such as like flashing lights that are intense and could possibly cause seizures to people who have photosensitive epilepsy. You've got to be aware of that, because there are some people who have these health conditions, so you don't want to cause any harm to them because of anything in your film. So that doesn't mean don't have it in your film. That just means put a warning in your film, in your age restriction, so that people with this condition know and they can avoid it for their own health. So so that you make them aware of it, so that they can avoid it for their own health. Basically, here's the instructions for how to do things, but I'm going to show you myself. So let's go from instructions to the FPB form itself. Here is the form. It's pretty straightforward. As you can see, yes, it's an Excel sheet. I know this can be intimidating, but it's not bad. I promise you. Okay, it's just checking a bunch of boxes. It's pretty easy. So let's start at the top. Name of the filmmaker. To enter the film. So filmmaker to enter film information below. What is your team name? My team name is Kishan's best team ever, with 3 exclamations. That's how it is in the computer. Okay, so the name of the film is Christmas Chaos. Okay, it's I got a Christmas movie that is also a martial arts movie. Let's say that's what it was. Okay, the length of the movie is 7 minutes and 45 seconds. So that is from the beginning of your film to the credits. So your whole film. Okay, let's include the slates also. So the whole length of your file that your movie is on. Okay, so from beginning to end, 7 minutes 45 seconds. Make sure that that is accurate, please. Okay, so the director, who directed it? I directed it. There we go. Kishan Baijnath, that is my name. Cast members, who was in this movie? It was Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan was in this movie. And who else was in this movie? Jennifer Lawrence was in this movie. Who else was in this movie? Samuel L. Jackson was in my movie. He was the voice of the robot. Languages were English and Mandarin. So is it subtitled? Yes, it is subtitled. Yes, the film is subtitled because it is in there's some Mandarin, Chinese. So has the title been classified by the Film and Publications Board? No, it has not, because that is what we are doing now to speed up the process for them. So the synopsis: Jackie Chan tries to buy a present for Jennifer Lawrence, but a security robot fights him in the toy shop. There we go. So just a brief synopsis of the film. Okay, based on your responses below, what age do you think your film should be classified as? We'll come back to that at the end. But okay, so let's see. Substance abuse. Is there any substance abuse in your film? That's drinking, smoking, drug use. Yes, there is, but it's very mild because Jackie Chan is drinking a glass of wine with Jennifer Lawrence at the beginning of the movie, so it is very mild. They don't get drunk or anything. It's a very, very calm scene. Horror. Is there any horror in this film? No, there is not. There is no horror in the film. If there is anything that is not in your film, in any of the sections, you just click no, and then you leave the rest of that section blank, okay? And move on to the next one. Criminal techniques. Yes, there is a thief that breaks into the toy shop at one point. So yes, there is. Is it frequent? Fairly frequent. He is a supporting character in the film. Impact. How strong is it? It is very mild. It's actually kind of comedic. It's not very intense at all. Intimate acts and techniques. No, there aren't any, so we just say no. Remember, when there isn't something in there, you just say no, and you move to the next section. Is there language? Yes, there is a bit of bad language. It is fairly frequent, but it is mild. It's nothing too bad. It's kind of a Christmas movie. It's kind of made for families. Nudity. Is there any nudity? No, there isn't. Like I said, Christmas movie for families. So if there's none of that, you move on to the next section. Prejudice. None. No prejudice. No prejudice whatsoever. Remember, if you want to highlight it, all you do is you click on the cell, and you go to the top there where it says full color, and you just click it, and it fills it in. So no prejudice. Sexually related activities. Nope, none of that. And sexual violence, also none of that. Very, very chilled movie. Very just a fun little movie that I hypothetically have made. Violence, yes, there is violence, okay, but it's mostly kung fu, karate kind of violence, martial arts, because it's a martial arts film. Is it there? It is very frequent. It's most of the movie is a fight scene between Jackie Chan and a robot voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. So it's very frequent. But is the impact? What is the impact? The impact is moderate. It's not very violent, in the sense of nobody is getting shot, stabbed, nobody's getting chopped into pieces. There's no blood. It's just a bit of punching and kicking, people falling through shelves, breaking windows. Nobody gets really badly hurt. It's moderate. It's just for fun. Blasphemy, it is infrequent, because at one point Jackie Chan gets punched in the face and he goes, "God damn it!" And so he says it, so it's once infrequently, but when it happens, it is strong. Not very strong, but it is strong. Photosensitive, anything that causes photosensitivity, it is infrequent, but in one scene, the robot has flashing lights for like an emergency, so it is very strong when it happens the one time it happens. So the declaration here at the bottom, you got to say the names of your producer. So I produced this film myself, and who produced it with me? It was Steven Berg made this movie with me. Steven Spielberg made this movie with me. And if you, for your electronic signature, you just put your name there. It's fine, and it's the 26th today, 11/2020. Obviously, you put the date that you finished this, so maybe you do it tonight, maybe you do it tomorrow. Doesn't matter. Cool. And so, because the film is pretty mild, it's just a fun movie. It's not too violent, not too intense in any way. So I'm gonna suggest that it be PG-13 for violence. Cool. And that is how you do an FPB festival submission. It's not hard. See, it's pretty straightforward. It's not bad at all. All you got to do now is file, save as, and you go to the title there, and then you put a space, dash, and then you go, see, just put your title, and then you save. That's the end. Thank you guys for watching. Remember that when you're done with this form, it is an Excel sheet, so you cannot actually upload it to Cinema 48 with the rest of your documents. So please email that to me and Nerusha. So that is Durban at 48hourfilm.com. And you can email it to me also. That's Kishan 48hfp at gmail.com. Please send it to us so that we have it accounted for. And you can send in this and every other document before midnight Sunday, and you will still be eligible. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Hey, hi. Sorry, I think I dozed off there for a little bit. I just kind of let myself do the talking. But I hope you guys know how to do the form now. That's the important thing. Uh, okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, wrap form. Okay, once everything's uploaded to Cinema 48, you'll be able to submit a wrap form. It's so easy. It just goes like it's like 10 questions, and it's just like, did you do this, and then you go yes, yes, this, that, yes, no, and it's done. And you click that, and then on our side we'll get like a notification on our app that the pretty well Nerusha will get it, and then it'll just be like, cool, this team's done. Then you're done. How great is that? Again, team will be on standby the whole time. If you need assistance, you can call us, WhatsApp us, email us, and we will help you out because we're here to do that. Our goal is to make sure that you guys get your form done. So anything we can do to help make sure that the form gets done, we want to do it. So we're there. We're there for you, okay? Just some free software tips for newcomers, basically, or if you're just looking to expand your horizons in terms of software and stuff. One of the things that's just really a bummer when we watch movies is when we have a movie that has like a power video watermark, or something that's just like, oh, that's it just ruins the professionalism of it. It doesn't look good if you have a video that's got a watermark from a free software on it. I highly recommend DaVinci Resolve. There, wait, that one. There it is. DaVinci Resolve. It's an editing, sound, basic visual effects, and color grading software. It is free. Okay. There is a pro version that you pay for, but the pro version is only like slightly more advanced than the free version. The free version is so good that industry professionals are actually moving away from Premiere Pro and After Effects and going to DaVinci Resolve. And DaVinci Resolve is free. Now, you may not be too familiar with it, so if you want to check it out, I suggest you get started on it like this week or something, just to get familiar with it, because it is a different kind of editing software. It's different from Premiere Pro. So you got to get familiar with it, but when you do know what you're doing, it's top notch. And DaVinci Resolve started as a color grading software, so the color grading on it is top notch. It's legitimately top notch. And the editing is also now on a level that is so impressive. One thing to be aware of during this, though, is you just got to be cautious of your computer's GPU, the computer's GPU, excuse me, because when you do more complex tasks like VFX and color, you might risk your computer overheating, your computer might crash or whatever. So make sure you always save your stuff. Keep an eye out for that. Premiere Rush is a mobile editing software. I don't necessarily recommend it, but hey, it was like one of the more favorable ones in terms of editing on your phone. It gets the job done. There's no watermarks. It's kind of versatile, but I honestly, if you're making a mobile produced film, I feel like just shoot it on your phone, edit it with a better software. But hey, if you're stuck, Premiere Rush, it's there. Again, please, like, DaVinci Resolve is so readily available for you to use. It's like world-class editing software, and it does not have a watermark. It doesn't do anything. You can do basically everything with it, and it's free. So I swear, if you guys hand in stuff with like watermarks on it that say Power Director or whatever, or if there's like all of these like wonky things that don't have credits on it properly or whatever, because you didn't use like a readily available brilliant software that is free, then I'll just be very disappointed. And please don't make me disappointed, because if I cry, edit, please. Okay. Last there at the bottom, right at the bottom, Trelby screenwriting software. Okay. You don't need a screenwriting software for this, because like I said, we're not going to read your script. But if you want to use a screenwriting software, write it in a screenplay format, go for it. Trelby is a nice free one. It's simple and easy to use. It's not as sophisticated as like Final Draft or Fade In or Movie Magic, but it's good for beginners. It's the appropriate format. It looks professional. And yeah, just to remember, when you're writing, approximately 1 page of script equals about a minute of screen time. So yeah, obviously it depends on how you write it, but that's just something that's a rule of thumb generally. And to expand your filmmaking skills even further, here are some links to YouTube videos that are very informative. I often go back to them all the time because they're just so well done. This guy edits is the first one there. He's a YouTuber. He's a professional editor. Then there's Pony Smasher, which is about directing, editing, visual effects, and just general filmmaking advice. That is by a real director, David F. Sandberg, who has directed movies such as like Annabelle Creation and Shazam, like the DC superhero Shazam. So he's like very, very knowledgeable. Oh, he also directed like Lights Out. He's very knowledgeable, very funny, great quality videos that just teach you so much. Studio Binder is also another great one. That's just a general filmmaking, channel that you can learn about, editing, visual effects, composition, writing, everything's in there. Aperture, which is more cinematography and lighting. Aperture is actually a lighting company that, so when you go onto their channel, it's actually more promoting their different lights and stuff, but they also make tutorials on how to use those lights and other film gear. So I highly recommend it if you want to learn some of the technical stuff from that. And then there's Every Frame a Painting, which is directing and editing mainly, but it's a phenomenal channel that breaks down different styles of directors and their craft and how they create certain shots and the type of films that they make. And like every episode is about a different filmmaker or a different genre. It's so informative, and honestly, it just teaches you so much about filmmaking. Honestly, any of these channels would just elevate your mind to another level in terms of filmmaking. So I highly recommend them. If you're not sure where to go in terms of filmmaking, if you're new to this, please, it's worth your time to check this out. It'll level you up, and you will become much more formidable as a filmmaker with some education. And that's that for chapter 3. Looking at the time, I think that because chapter 4 is actually pretty short, I figure that we can just push through and we can just do chapter 4 straight away. We can finish that, and maybe we can wrap this up pretty quickly. So I'm going to go straight into it. I hope you guys are okay with that. And yeah, let's go to
the Huawei
chapter 4.
P40 Series 5G.
Oop, there we go. Sorry, started the movie too soon. Okay, so we're on chapter 4 now, and let's go. Here we go. Screening and awards. All right, chapter 4. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot your names. Yeah. All right. Film Commission. Woo! Yeah, Creative Arts College, Huawei, Durban Film Office, Media Film Services, Film and Publications Board. You guys are the real heroes here. Okay, so qualifying procedures and eligibility. Okay, so after the drop-off, which is on Sunday night, all films will be viewed and evaluated to ensure that they're compliant with rules and regulations. So that means that we're going to make sure that it's clearly been shot during the time that we asked for, that they're all in the time frame. So that's 4 to 7 minutes plus 1 minute of credits. That they're properly labeled, that they're subtitled if appropriate, that they have that you've stuck to your genres and your required elements, all of that stuff. It needs to be appropriate. Oh, okay. We got a question here. If entering to the mobile film category, is it allowed to film using a cell phone and edit using a PC? Yes, it is. You are allowed to do that. You can edit your mobile phone on a PC. That is fine. It's very understandable considering that lots of mobile film editing software is not very user-friendly, and unless you have to pay for it a lot. So yeah, if you want to use a PC, that's totally fine. Also, it's just better for quality control, and we want the best films possible. We want you to have the best opportunity to make your films, and we also want it to be as comfortable for you as possible. And I think that just editing on a laptop or a desktop is just so much more conducive to a healthy editing environment than editing it on your phone like this, and then you get a WhatsApp, and then you've got to push the WhatsApp away. I just think that that's better. Okay. Entry back to the slideshow. Entries must be original work from the entrant and must be suitable for publication. Okay, so it can't contain any media that would be considered illegal or violate copyright or anything like that. It can't be obscene or indecent in the eyes of the Film and Publications Board of South Africa. If the film violates this, it will likely not be screened and it will be removed from the competition altogether, and we do not want that. So please, guys, think about what you are putting on the screen. Entries must adhere to the designated genre and ensure that they contain the required elements, which are the character, the prop, and the line of dialogue. Entries must be handed in before the deadline on Sunday night, including all the relevant production documents, which can come by midnight on Sunday. If an entry does not meet the 48-hour film project rules and regulations, including late hand-in, it will not qualify for official judging and prizes. So yeah, you don't want to miss out on those prizes. You saw those prizes, and we're going to go through them again in a second. So yeah. So again, team classifications. All right, we're going to have professionals, newcomers, and mobile film productions. But again, we're gonna view the films and we're gonna see if it does actually fit into those categories. If it's a mobile film production that's looking amazing, it can go probably eligible for professional as well. If it's a newcomer that's amazing, you're gonna go into professional as well. Okay. Film groups at the screenings will be grouped by classification and other criteria. Okay, so if your film is a horror and it's 16 age restriction, we're gonna put it with other films that are 16. And if your film is a family film that's like all ages, we're gonna put it with all the all ages films. It's quite easy to figure out how that would be. When you buy a ticket to the screening at Gateway, we will be grouping the films together so that you buy a ticket to a slot. So you get a slot, and you, in that like 90 minutes or so, you will be watching a number of films, and we go maximum 15 films per screening. It's roughly about it's about a 90-minute slot. So if each film is about 8 minutes long, that's about 9 or 10 films, maximum 15 though. Next, promoting your film. Okay. Again, your film cannot be distributed or screened before the official screening on the 11th, but you can promote your film. You can make trailers, posters, post about it on all the social media, because if you drum up enough publicity and you share and do all of these things, you create enough social media buzz, you are eligible for the award for best social media. The best social media prize is 2,500 rand in cash. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty great to me. 2,500 rand in cash for just like being on your phone and social media ring. So yeah, go for it, man. Like you, that means you make, if you win that, you make a profit on the thing. That's more than the entry fee, right? So yeah, you would have profited off of this. Hashtag profit, hashtag hustle. Um, yeah, screening online and virtual. All the films will also be screened online for those unable to attend the cinema screening in person. But it's nice to have you there. Obviously, we'll be COVID safe and stuff. It's just nice to see everybody. It's nice to to actually see who put faces to the names and names to the faces. It's just lovely. Um, the world premiere, as we refer to it as, of your film. So that's going to be the first time your film is screened for the public. It'll be on the 11th and 12th of December at Gateway Ster-Kinekor. Yeah, all films will be screened in cinema, whether regardless of whether they were found eligible or ineligible for awards consideration, as long as they adhere to the other guidelines that say that they can actually be screened, though. So the screenings will adhere to strict COVID safety protocols. Just please be aware of that. So that's obviously social distancing. Masks are mandatory. You got to sanitize and have your temperature checked before you enter the venue. Some of this will be facilitating, but otherwise, like Ster-Kinekor also just has very solid safety protocols when you enter the cinema. I've been to the cinema quite a lot in the past 2 weeks, just going to the movies, watching Eternals and Ghostbusters 2 days ago. So yeah, like I can confirm that they've done a pretty good job of keeping everybody sanitized and making sure that they're masked and all of that stuff. So they'll just be following through with that for our screening. Okay, judging and awards, which will be on Sunday the 12th of December after all the screenings are done. So judges are going to be comprised of various industry professionals. I can confirm to you that many of them are definitely like really cool industry professionals, some of which we've worked with before. All of the films that are eligible will be viewed and awarded based on various criteria. Okay, winners will receive a commemorative trophy and an official 48-hour certificate and a gift bag. If you watch the after movie that is on our official 48-hour Durban YouTube channel, you will see that you can see some of the clips from the awards and stuff. Some of the guys getting their trophies. It's really cool. In the case of certain accolades, the recipient will also get a sponsored prize. So those are like best newcomer, best cinematography, etc. Those guys are going to get prizes additional to the trophy. Films that are disqualified for various reasons, such as like not having the required elements or not being handed in on time, if they're screened, they will still be eligible for the audience award. So the audience can still vote for for best audience film. And so there's sometimes, hey, like films that aren't eligible, they win that, they clear it out. So it's really cool that you have like this one opportunity to like, get yours back. So the judges' criteria, okay, so to considerations for best film are artistic merit, technical merit, and adherence to the assignment. So artistic merit means sticking to the story, the creativity, the entertainment value. That's 45% of the mark. Technical merit is 30% of the mark, and adherence to the assignment is another 25% of the mark. Okay. The winner for best film 2021 will go to Filmapalooza 2022. Filmapalooza is basically the big 48-hour like festival where they get all the best films from around the world and they go head to head in a competition to see who will win. It's the 48-hour film festival to end all 48-hour film festivals for that year at least. So if you win best film at Durban, you get to go to Filmapalooza. And if you win Filmapalooza, you come in the top 10, you get to go to the Festival du Cannes, like the Cannes Film Festival. When you win best film, you will win Movie Magic Screenwriting Software 6. Okay, Movie Magic screenwriting software is one of the top-notch screenwriting softwares. It's industry standard for a lot of people. It's up there with Final Draft and Fade In. Um, and yeah, Movie Magic, they just make a lot of stunning software. I've personally used Movie Magic scheduling, and it's outstanding. I haven't used the screenwriting software though, but it comes highly recommended. So if you win that, congratulations, you lucky fish. Awards. Okay, so here are the awards. We've got best film, first, second, and third place. Best directing, best writing, best cinematography, best acting, best editing, best use of character, prop, and line. Best mobile film production, best newcomer, and best social media. As you know, best social media is 2,500 rand cash. That's the prize. How crazy is that? So the prize for best newcomer is a bursary from Creative Arts College, and that is a bursary to study film and get a national filmmaking diploma, which is an outstanding thing to have. Like literally that could it could change the course of your future. You could study film. That's super cool. Thank you, Creative Arts College. Um, Best mobile production wins a Huawei P40. I'm not going to play the adverts again, but as you probably know by now, it is a stunning phone. It's got an incredible camera, and apparently it's just magic according to that ad. To the point where even I'm just like, oh, really? I don't know. I don't think that technology does that yet. But yeah, it's got three lenses on it, each with different capabilities. There's a 15 megapixel camera, 16 megapixel camera, and an 8 megapixel camera, and it just like takes stunning images. So as far as mobile phone production goes, like you're getting like notch stuff right there, and also it's just like it's a phone. It's a great looking phone also. So yeah, it's a win-win. I see it as an absolute win, as Bruce Banner would say. And then the best cinematography cash prize is 10,000 rand in cash. Yeah, confirmed. That's 10,000 rand in cash. It's if you win best cinematography, your cinematographer gets 10,000 rand in cash, which is insane in the membrane. I think that anybody would have a motivation if there was nothing else that motivated you for the last 4 hours of me talking. 10,000 rand in cash. Do your best. Give me some beautiful images there. Please make Roger Deakins proud. Make Janusz Kaminski proud. Make Bradford Young proud. Make Reed Morano proud. Make all of these great cinematographers proud. Okay, the Audience Choice Award. So that's based on audience ballot forms. So they watch the movies, they fill out the ballot forms, they put it in a little thing, they vote for it, and if you get enough votes, you win the Audience Choice Award, which is a great accolade on its own. In some ways, it's better because you know that people actually really loved your film, and like not just like critics, people in the audience responded to your film very strongly. In the case of last year, the film that won best film also won the audience film, and it also just cleaned house because Dream Team, you guys were just you were overachievers. So but you'll see what all the fuss is about in just a moment, because we're actually going to play that film for you. Filmapalooza 2022. So like I said, best film of 48 Hour Durban will go to compete in the Filmapalooza against other best films from the 48 Hour around the world, which means that it's going up against over 150 other films from 150 other cities. The top 10 of those will go to the Festival du Cannes, the Cannes Film Festival 2022. And additionally, the winner of the Filmapalooza will win a grand prize trophy and $5,000 US dollars in cash. Yeah, there's a lot of money flying around these days. I kind of feel like, what am I doing working here? Nerusha, I quit. I want to enter this. I want to enter now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave you guys now, and I'm gonna enter. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, we're back. So the Cannes Film Festival. Yeah. What more can I say, guys? Don't you want to go meet Kate Winslet and George Clooney and all of these fancy people and shake hands with Christoph Waltz with COVID, so you can wave at Christoph Waltz and all of these amazing producers and directors, and you can ask Lars von Trier what the hell his films are about. Like, it's just, wouldn't that be great? Don't you want to go to the Festival du Cannes? ownership and rights of your film. Okay, so creators retain all the rights to their films. Okay, 48 Hour Film Project has the right to distribute your films to film festivals for 1 year, just 1 year. Okay, after that, 365 days after that, it's your film entirely again. Okay, we can't sell your film in any way. Okay, but if your film wins any cash prizes at any festivals or competitions or whatever, 48 Hour Film Project is entitled to 20% of that prize money because we act as an agent or a representative of the filmmaker. So that's what that is. Yeah. After 48 Hour, okay? So regardless of whether you win any awards or not, you can share your 48 Hour Film Project short around the world. You can update the edits. You can do anything that you want. You can use it as a proof of concept and make a larger project. I've seen many 48 Hour films do that, where that started as a seed of one weekend and then it became a feature film or a series or something. Add it to your show reel. Okay, implement all you've learned from 48 Hour this year into new film projects and use your skills to build your movie making muscles. And hopefully you can start plotting for 48 Hour 2022. And I'd love to see you there. So now we've come to the conclusion of our workshop. Now we're gonna play last year's winner Mbokodo by the Dream Team. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. And its genre was film de femme and martial arts. So that's a film with a female protagonist and a martial arts film. So to recap, the required elements were Menzi or Mandy Khadebe, who was a lawyer. The required line was, "Let's get this over with," and the required prop was a COVID mask. Okay. Yeah, sit back, relax, and I hope that you enjoy this beautiful film that won many, many awards last year, including Best Film and the Audience Award for Best Film. Yeah, I'll leave it at that for now, and I'll see you in about 8 minutes.
The Huawei
Hello,
Hello, how may I assist you?
my name is Zama. Please help me. But the police is not here. Please. Want to help me, please? Please hit me anymore. Please come just now. Please, I'm begging you. Hello? Hello?
Can you give me more information? Where do you
I
live?
sit in Banana City.
Sorry, I cannot help you. Try going to the family court.
Hello? Hello?
Zama, come, let's play the ball. Zama, come. Zama. 2 kicks. 1 duck. 2 punches. 2 kicks. 1 duck. Keep going, guys. Hi. Are you okay?
No, I know.
What happened?
It hits me here in my face.
I can't help you, but I can teach you how to help yourself.
Yes, please help me.
Welcome to Forever, man. Let's go. It's forever. No surrender. Yeah. You know that this right here forever.
Now the power is in your hands.
Let's get this over with.
Now allow me to reintroduce myself. They call me J.O. N to the easy E. Know that we undefeated. Y'all are beneath them speeches trying to air a grievance. But his lines are overhead. Better check the air for clearance. Call the tower. This is ours. Clear the heat. The air apparent. Really, I've never been better. Legacy, this is forever. All the more times I've been severed. I'm raising the bar. You can go ahead and measure. Think about time for a toast. Time that we welcome to go. Yo, we're just leaving. I think about time that somebody go get on their coat. You know I got all that anthem. Come back in. What you call that add-on? Got anthems and bands with masters, getting them right like my name was Miranda. I ain't bigger dead than alive, I ain't bigger dead than alive. One more time, this is forever, remember the legend, he never gon' die, yeah. I ain't bigger dead than alive, bigger dead than alive. I ain't bigger dead than alive, dead than alive, yeah. I ain't bigger dead than alive, bigger dead than alive, Just making sure that you know why, because this is forever.
And we're back. What did you guys think? I thought that was really great. Good job, guys. Dream team. Did us proud there. There were a lot of great films that year, just by the way. So there's like Return by the Happy Chappies and East Coast Creatives, Red Collar, another beautiful one. Just so many great films. Evil Road was another one. Ooh, that one was quite a crazy one. Whew, already had a good time with it. And yeah, I hope that we see more wonderful films from you guys this year. I'm really looking forward to it. Please make us proud. Do your best. Adhere to the rules. Use a proper editing software. And yeah, thus concludes the Surviving 48-Hour Workshop. There should be a Surviving the Surviving 48-Hour Workshop if you survived this. But yeah, I agree. It was powerful. Hi, Echo Place. Yeah, very powerful. So I'm going to hand it over to Nerusha to say goodbye to everybody. But yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Hey everybody, let's thank Kish. Thank you, Kish.
Thank you for having me.
Kish is amazing, he always is. And I always say if I could clone someone, I'd clone him. So guys, come, let's clone him. Yeah, in closing, well, firstly, are there any questions? I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just checking the questions out. Yeah, any questions? I mean, even if you're watching this at a later stage, please just message in the group, email, drop me a text or anything. It's 1 week to go, or less than a week, 5 days. And I'm hoping that this was really informative and you guys are ready for what the weekend holds. And in closing, yeah, just be prepared. I think Kish has done a great job in preparing you, but nothing would actually prepare you than the actual weekend of filming. But do what you can and do yourself proud, do us proud. And once again, thank you to KZN Film Commission. Thank you guys, and obviously to Huawei South Africa, Creative Arts College. And thanks to each one of you for joining us and taking time on your Sunday for spending it here with us. And we look forward to watching all your films. Make some magic. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.